subscribe? Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Whenever we get things popping, we always got people coming at us with these weird stereotypes where they try to deny white supremacy and they try to do victim blaming. One victim blaming thing that we always see and hear, these people trying to tell us, well, the problem with black people, it ain't white supremacy. The problem is, well, the fathers ain't in the home. Oh, it's the single parents. And family, don't go for that talking point. That's a con game. I really want y'all to understand that whenever they start using the absentee black father trope, when you hear white supremacists saying that, that is a con game. Not only is it a deflection, that's a way for them to, number one, justify systemic racism, because what they're trying to say, and y'all understand why they're saying stuff, because that, as we know, the CDC, they've already said that black fathers are the most active in their children's lives, which is true. um just because a black man and black woman are not married, that doesn't mean that the father is not in the child's life. That doesn't mean that the child is fatherless. When they say that, that's more of, it's almost like a fantasy. The white supremacists say, kind of sit around fantasizing about black people being from broken homes. It's like almost some kind of sexual fantasy that they have. I want y'all to understand the mindset of these people. Because, like I said, number one, it justifies systematic racism, portraying black families as being inherently broken. um, they excuse over policing, mass incarceration, redlining, lack of investments in black community. You just blame black people instead of the structural white supremacy, which is the real problem. Also, them using that trope, that's something that they can use to project white guilt. The white supremacists, they project their own societal dysfunctions onto us, their domestic violence, their mass shooting, their opioid addiction. They project that stuff onto us to avoid reckoning with their own internal collapse, because these people are just morally collapsing on each other. And like I said, that whole fatherless black community, that's like like a white supremacist wet dream. Claiming that black fathers are absent allows them to kind of feel morally and culturally superior, you understand, which again, despite the data showing that black fathers are the most involved fathers of any group. And that's also a way for them to try to undermine black masculinity. If black men are painted as being irresponsible, dangerous, or emotionally absent, that will weaken the social image of black males. And that's also a way for them to try to distort the legacy of black resilience. Black fatherhood, that's been a powerful force of survival since slavery. Men Black men would risk their lives to be with their families. You understand? Black men would literally risk their lives to be with their families. They would fight for their freedom, trek through the forest and the wilderness and the swamps to get to their families. Don't let them run this "we don't care about our family" nonsense. That's a white supremacist fantasy. That's a wet dream that they have, because that trope, that erases the legacy of strength and sacrifice from foundational Black American men. And I always talk about, remember, during hell up into the 50s and 60s, many of the riots that happened in this country, it was the Black males protecting the Black women in the community. Remember, the Watts riot got started because there was a rumor that cops had roughed up a Black woman out in Philadelphia, There was some riots out there in the 60s because the rumor was cops had harmed a black woman in Chicago around 67. There was a big riot out there. The rumor was that a store owner harmed a black woman and the cops didn't do nothing, so the people in the community turned up. When we heard that a sister got harmed by one of them white supremacists, brothers went to the streets heavy. So there's always been that protective barrier within the community of black men stepping up and in the father role for the community. So that image of the absentee black fathers, that them repeating that, that's something where they try to plant a seed and hopefully to them they think that seed is going to grow if they just keep saying it over and over. They try to manifest it by just saying it all the time. You see? So them suggesting that black men are just perpetually irresponsible, it becomes easier to justify their removal from the home through incarceration. See? Which benefits the multi-billion-dollar prison industry. And that narrative, it perpetuates all of these anti-black media stereotypes. The media, they love elevating dysfunction within black society. So showing a culture of black fathers being absentee dads, that type of dysfunction is something that they like to promote. They would promote that stuff. They really started promoting that absentee father thing in the 60s in movies and television. Shows like Julia with Diane Carroll. Um, remember in the 70s, they started with this single mother thing. Our good sister, who's Caribbean actually, Esther Roll, who was in Good Times, she was on a show called Maud at first. She was kind of a recurring character. Norman Lear and those guys, the white producers, they wanted to give her own show, Good Times. Um, on the show, I think Good Times started in 1974. From the beginning, they always wanted the Florida Evans character to be a single mother. They never wanted Florida Evans to have a father. The whole premise was for her to be a black single mother. Esther Rose said, no, 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 no. I don't like that image. That image is not going to be a good image. That woman and those kids are going to need a father. So I'm not going to do a show with no single mother. So that's when they hired John Amos. But eventually, you know, they took him off the show. They killed him off. Why did they kill him off? Because again, he was not only perpetuating an image of a strong father on camera and off camera, because what they wanted to do, they wanted to make JJ the prototype of what a black male should be. And JJ was buffooning it up. It was funny as a kid, watching that. JJ became a huge superstar. He was the Urkel of the show. There's always one breakout character. He's the character that the white people like. But it was a little too buffoonish. And Esther Roll and John Amos and those guys, they complained a lot behind the scenes of that image. They kept saying, "Hey, no, 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 we need to balance that out. As a black community, we can't have this JJ running around acting dumb and goofy and silly and yelling dynamite. I mean, there has to be a balance. We have to go back into this black community. So we can't be responsible or partially responsible for these janky images of a dysfunctional teen." So they kept complaining and they said, okay, look, we're going to kill John Amos off. Yeah, you ain't going to have no dad. We'll just take his ass all the way off. So again, that whole absentee father thing, that's a fantasy of the dominant white society because that's what they like to promote, you see. And promoting that silenced the roles of white policies in family dysfunction. See, their dysfunctions within black society based on external properties, welfare laws, housing policies, discriminatory policing, um, discriminatory lending, These are things that sabotage many black male female relationships. You see, and also here's the big thing, man. Why they like promoting that absentee father thing, because see that allows for their sexual exploitation fantasies. See, a lot of these white supremacists, they push this narrative to kind of justify their own hyper sexualized obsession with black women. Can we get deep for a minute? These white supremacists have a real violent, hypersexualized fantasy mentality when it comes to black women. Just imagining black women being alone and vulnerable without a black man present. That makes them easy prey. You see, that's why they like that whole trope of no man being around, so they can come into the community and do all types of weird shit to black women and black children without getting stomped on, because they know if a black man is there, they ain't gonna do all that weird shit. I put up a video clip earlier. A white man goes up into a Walmart, drops his pants in his drawers, and starts fondling himself in a Walmart full of black kids. And his sister's like, "Oh my God, y'all go whoop his ass." So a bunch of brothers came out of nowhere and stomped a mud hole in his ass. You understand? They came out and swooped down on him. And that's what they don't like. See, they want to be able to do little weird stuff like that when ain't no brothers around. They like, see, they thought, I guess this white guy thought, okay, I go into this black neighborhood and curve all the way out and ain't gonna be no fathers here, so I'm good to go. And he was sadly mistaken. He was sadly mistaken. The brother stepped up and stepped off in his ass. But yeah, they got that weird fantasy about vulnerable, lonely black women where they can take advantage of them. Just like with the Breonna Taylor situation, how they ran up in their sister's house and killed her, but her boyfriend was there and he drew down and started popping the undercovers. He popped one of them in the leg. And they tried to prosecute him, and the great Judge Olu Stevens threw that out. Shout out to Olu Stevens. But yeah, these people got a perverse fantasy. And that's the thing about punk asses. When you're a punk ass, you always want to figure out ways to target women as a dude. You notice that a lot of dudes who can't stand toe to toe with other men, they always have a lot of hostility to women. They always project onto women. That's why some of these tethers and other people, the white supremacists, when I'm smashing on them, they can't handle me as a man. So what do? They always say something crazy about my wife. They make up some weird lie about my lady. You start trying to attack my lady, who's not even a public figure. That's the biggest sign of a bitch ass from any society or from any ethnic group. So we got to understand that part of the game. Y'all raise your hands because we are in here. We are in here heavy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in here heavy. Let's get um, Big Throbe. Let's get Big Throbe and we'll get J Kai Mommy in here. Let's get Big Throbe in the building.
Hey, what's going on,
What's
Tariq?
up, brother? How are you, Throbe?
Appreciate you bringing me on. I was liking what you were saying. So for black women, they love trying to say that black women are hypersexual and sorry, I'm a little nervous. Hypersexual and promiscuous and all that
Right.
stuff. But you can't go on an adult website without seeing like 100. For every one black woman you see on there, you got thousands of white, Hispanic, everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they love talking about our women, but they be the main ones doing that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, thank you so much. Let's get J Kai Mommy. J Kai.
Hey, how you
I'm
doing?
good, dear. How are you, Jay?
I'm good.
What's it?
I just had a question. I don't know if you talked about it last night or not because I went to the that Chris Brown concert in Detroit.
Yeah, how was it?
Oh, it was amazing. It was good. He only did maybe like 45 minutes or so or hour because he said he wanted to save it for his tour. So it was cool. But I had a question. Did you talk about the Carmelo situation and how it actually wasn't a knife?
Oh, really? No. What have you heard?
Yeah, it came out that I guess as you know, facts and stuff is still coming out, but I guess it wasn't a knife. They saying it was a cleat sharpener or something that had to do with like track or something like that.
I haven't heard that, but now where did you hear that? Was it from a reputable source?
I don't think it was reputable, but it was like three or four posts talking about it.
Yeah, you gotta verify stuff because people just be saying stuff online. So it has to come from a pretty reputable source. Just because somebody tweeted something, people be tweeting out bullshit. So
Right.
so you gotta it has to come from some kind of reputable source. So yeah, let me know where it came from. Well, I'm hearing some hisses. Justice, what's up, Justice?
Mr. Nasheed, what's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's up, Just?
Peace to you, man. Peace to the family. Hey, I just finished seeing Ryan Coogler's movie, Sinners. Have you seen that
No,
yet?
I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
Check it out. Yeah. So I was wondering, are you getting back into doing the movie reviews at some point?
Yeah, yeah, I always do that. Yeah, if I see a good movie and it has some kind of social relevance, I'll do a review on it. But yeah, I haven't been to the movies in a while, but I'm going to check that movie out because I'm hearing good things about it. So I'll definitely give my review on that. Kay, what's up, Kay?
Hi, can you hear
I
me?
can hear you, Kay. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I really appreciate your work. I actually went to your second reparations rally with my dad. I really enjoyed myself out there,
Okay,
just to say that first off.
cool.
I don't know when you're having your third one, but I would love to go to that. Just to get straight to the point, have you heard of the Case and Allison case?
No, no, what's that?
So just visualize this. Just stop me if this sounds familiar. A kid at school, he brings a knife to the school premises or something. He ends up getting into an altercation where he stabs another
Oh
student,
yeah,
and the student
I heard about
dies.
that's in Texas too, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this case is with a white kid who ended up stabbing this Hispanic kid like 4 or 5 times. Like they were trying to like schedule a fight or
Yeah,
something at school or something. He ended up killing him, and guess who's not talking about it?
the white supremacists.
Yep, they're not talking about this. This happened like 3 years ago,
Yeah,
2022. This will probably go through before the Carmelo Anthony case. So I mean, I think we need to look at this case because if he ends up getting off, we could really use this like as a defense for Carmelo Anthony because they're not talking about this case at all. Like, there is no word on this from them.
right, you're right. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I am familiar with that case to a certain degree. I just never remember the name. But yeah, that case, all eyes on that one too, because again, we want to see what kind of precedent is going to be set.
Rule work tonight. Rule work tonight. Rule work tonight. Rule work tonight. I'll be feeling so right. I got that root work tonight. Feeling fresh from the morning light. Root work hit me, I'm set for the night.